No, reality check. What have I bought that I love? What have I bought that I hate or I regret? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, The Bulletproof Life. It's your girl Runke Odemwumi, and I'm delighted to have you here. Today I'm going to be telling you about the 5 purchases I've made that I regret, because we all have some of those. And I'm also going to be telling you about 5 purchases I've made that I'm really proud of. So this is kind of like a retrospective video, thinking back. Like they say, hindsight is 2020. So we're going to be looking back at the purchases Runke has made and what lessons can we learn from these purchases. What lessons have I learned from these purchases that I want to share with you? But before I go on to talk about the purchases I've made that I'm proud of or I regret, could you take a minute to press the like button so that other people like you can get to watch this video? If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Red button on your right. Give it a smash so that I can increase my subscriber numbers. I love it when I have a bigger bulletproof community. So let's start off with the things that I bought that I love. The first thing that I bought that I love, even though I didn't buy it alone, I bought it with my husband, is my house. The house we're living in right now, the house where I'm making this video from, is one thing that I'm really proud that we bought, that we got on the property ladder and bought our dream house. Buying this house and becoming property owners means that when we make mortgage payments every month, it's our mortgage we are paying off. While if we were renting, we'll be paying off the mortgage of our landlord. Now, for those who are renting and are yet to get on the property ladder, no pressure. It's not something that you have to do when you are not ready, but it's something that my husband and I really wanted to do. Once we had our debts paid off and we had our emergency fund saved, we started saving for our own home because we wanted to become property owners. So this is one purchase that I'm really proud of us for making, and we're still here. We're loving it, and loving my yellow throw pillows, loving my sofas, loving my decor, loving my home. The second thing that I'm proud of buying, that I'm really glad I put my money to, are paper investments. Those are stocks and shares, mutual funds, index funds, and things like that. I'm really proud of myself for making those purchases, for having the sense to make them, for deciding to invest my money in those things. I have seen a lot of returns. If you follow me on Instagram, I've shared things in my stories to show how much returns I have made on my investments in paper stocks, how they've come back for me, despite a very difficult 2020 economically, despite the fact that COVID has been raging and businesses have struggled in the last 1 year. My stocks and shares and mutual funds have performed excellently. They've given me a return of about 20% average, which means some of them have given me less than 20% and some of them have given me up to 24%. So paper investments have given me really good returns. I'm going to continue doing them, and I hope you're going to be doing them too if you haven't been doing paper investments. If you don't know how to start investing in stocks and shares, you can talk to me, right? This is what I do. I can tell you how to get started on your investment platform. I run investing masterclasses every other month. You can attend it, ask me questions. You can book one-on-one conversation sessions with me to talk about your investments, talk about my investments in more detail, and I can break it down for you. So those are 2 things now that I'm really glad I've put my money to. The third thing I'm glad I've put my money to is property investments. So outside of the house that we bought, that we live in, my husband and I have also put money into property investments. And this is a way to diversify our investment portfolio so that everything is not sitting in stocks and shares and mutual funds. We've spread out our investment portfolio into property, and I'm really glad we've done that too, because we've started seeing returns from that. One of our investments has actually doubled in value, so it's something that we are really glad we put money to. In the UK, there's a lot of laws now making it a little bit more difficult to get into the property market, to put your money into property. It's a little bit more difficult. There are more hoops for you to jump through, but they are not insurmountable hoops. They are not things that you can't get through, that you can't do. They're not boxes that you can't tick if you are interested in investing in property. So that's the third thing we've invested in that I'm really proud of. I didn't do it alone, but I'm really proud of us for doing that. I'm really glad. I look back on it and I have no regrets whatsoever for investing in property. The fourth thing I've invested in or I've spent money on, which I really I'm happy about and I have no regret about are my professional certifications. My professional certifications are part of the reason why I'm confident to sit here. I'm not a YouTuber who talks about finance without any qualifications, and I'm not shading anybody. I'm just saying that if I didn't have those qualifications, I'd be less confident to sit here and talk to you about personal finance. But having those qualifications give me the confidence to sit here and talk to you about money. They have impacted my income in my day job. They've allowed me to earn more because I'm qualified and I'm a professional, and I'm selling these skills to put more money in my pocket and to build my financial wealth. So my certifications are something that give me a lot of joy because they improve my value in the market. They have improved my value in the marketplace, and they sit on my CV very prettily. They make me happy, and they show recruiters and employers that I have something to offer in addition to my work experience. So I believe very much in investing in yourself. Investing in yourself is something you're not going to regret. So if you have been thinking about writing exams to improve yourself, or to take a course to improve yourself, or to buy a program or a book to improve yourself, please go ahead and do it. I've invested in myself and I'm still reaping the benefits. Investing in yourself is a gift that keeps on giving. It's just a gift that keeps on giving. It will show up for you in ways that you did not expect or imagine at the time when you were working to improve yourself. So please, please, please invest in yourself. It's a good investment. It yields returns as well as all the other investments I just talked about. The last thing I've spent my money on, and this is a recent purchase, which I have no regrets about, and it's something you are benefiting from right now by watching this video, is my ring light. That's the light I put my camera on to make videos for YouTube. I've made over 50 videos using this ring light. We use it in my house now for literally taking every picture. It had so much depth, so much brightness to all my pictures, to all my videos. It adds a professional angle to the videos I make. So I'm really glad I bought this ring light. I bought it off Amazon, and the link is in my description if you would like to buy this ring light. This ring light is not even for people who make YouTube videos alone. I feel like this ring light is something that's been missing from my picture taking life. A few years ago, my husband would say that I'm the worst photographer ever. Like, my pictures always shake. There's no point giving me a camera. I take horrible pictures. I make horrible videos. But over time, I have improved. And then I bought this ring light, and it just turned me into a total professional. I'm just there setting it up, changing the direction, moving the light, dimming it, increasing it. It's got a white light and a yellow light. And I just love my ring light. It's added so much value to my YouTube production. It's one purchase I do not regret. So now we've talked about the 5 purchases I do not regret, that I love, that I'm proud of. It's time for the sad, dark part of things. It's time for us to look at the stupid things Ronke has bought, the things that I've bought that I completely regret. I look back and I wish I didn't buy them. There are things that, if I could do it all over again, I definitely wouldn't buy them. So are you ready? Are you ready to listen to the 5 things that I bought that I regret? Okay, let's do this. The first thing that I bought, and again, I bought this one along with my husband, so I think we were foolish together, is a brand new car. Yes, we bought a brand new car sometimes in 2017. It was a black Nissan Qashqai. I loved that car. I wanted a Nissan Qashqai, And after I batted my eyes like this at my husband, he was like, okay, let's do it. Instead of him to just shut me down and say, no, we're not doing it. We agreed together. We went to the dealer. We looked at the car. We loved it. We bought it. I think the only good thing about doing that foolish purchase was that we bought it with our own money. Like, we literally saved up and took all our money to the car dealer and bought a car. We didn't do it on a credit card. We didn't do a lease. We actually bought this car. Like, when I think back on it, we didn't even have property. We were 2 people who wanted to get on the property ladder. We were 2 people who were saving up to get on the property ladder. And then we got to a point, we had like 21 grand and, ready to get on the property ladder. No, we went to buy a car. We bought a brand new car. And then let me tell you the kicker. Let me tell you the one that's going to hit you in the lower belly. 3 months after we bought the car, it was stolen in this very London. We woke up that day ready to go out and there was no car. Actually, what happened was that my husband wanted to drop my daughter off in nursery, and he went outside and came back inside. I said, okay, did you park the car somewhere else? I said, no, I didn't park the car anywhere. It should be where we park it. He was like, no, the car is not there. I was like, why are you pranking me this early morning now? It's too early. Go and get the car and do drop off. You guys are going to be late. And he was like, no, the car is not there. It's not there. And then we looked for the car keys. It was nowhere to be found. And that was when we realized that whoever took the car actually broke into our house. They took my husband's wallet. They took the car keys. They took a few things from the living room. You know, the good thing was that they didn't come upstairs. So they didn't come to us when we were sleeping. And they took the car. There was nowhere we didn't look for that car. We looked for that car in the dustbin. We looked for that car in the kitchen. I looked for that car in the garden. We roamed all the streets. We had an old car that we were using before we bought the new car, which we had not sold. We got into that car and we drove everywhere. Everywhere, all over London, all over Essex, all the warehouses that we thought were abandoned. We were there. We were looking for our car. You know, we told the police. They came around. No, they didn't come around. They actually sent some forensic guy who came to dust our doors and to tell us how to live a more secure life. Imagine, you know, closing the door after the horse has bolted. So they came and they told us all of that, and we just went around looking for the car. Long and short of it, we never found that car. You know, that car has probably made his way somewhere in Europe, enjoying his life in pieces. I'm sure the pieces stayed and took it somewhere abroad. But let me not guess too much. It still hurts a bit when I think about it. Like, oh. But the only good thing about it, the only good thing was that we got our insurance payment. So the car had a comprehensive insurance. So if you are somebody who's been doing third-party insurance on a nice car, this is me telling you to put a comprehensive insurance on your nice car. So the car had comprehensive insurance, so we were able to get insurance payment. And because we'd had the car for just 3 months, the insurance company paid us exactly how much we bought the car. So your people, when we got the insurance payment, we did not bother to go back and buy another car. In fact, when the insurance company confirmed that they were going to pay us the full amount, my husband wanted to tell me, Ronke, don't let's buy another car. Well, he didn't want to piss me off. I wanted to tell him, don't let's buy another car. I didn't want to piss him off. So I was just there, you know, we were there, both of us, just quiet and praying and hoping that God would speak to somebody. At some point, I just said, look, dude, we're not buying another car. The guy said, yes, please, don't let's buy another car. I don't want a new car anymore. So we pulled that money when we got it from the insurance company, added what was needed to it, and bought our property. So that is one purchase I regret. It was just the saving grace of God that, you know, helped us turn it around. Otherwise, we would have been stuck with that brand new car and no deposit for a house, and we would have had to start saving from scratch for the house while the property market got more expensive and harder to get on. If you have been thinking of buying a brand new car, this is me telling you don't do it. I've got 2 videos on my channel where I talked about how you should be funding your car purchase, all the ways you can fund your car purchase that makes sense, and also the sweet spot for buying a car. So check out those videos on my channel. The second purchase I made that I regret, this one is now an 11-year-old purchase, but it's still in my garage, so I think I should talk about it. And it's my designer wedding dress. This purchase I made by myself for myself. I mean, when I think about it, it was my husband that actually bought the wedding dress for me. But it's the fact that that was our money. That was money that we could have put to something else. That was money that he gave to me that I could have used for something else. That was money that this guy handed over to me. I could have bought a wedding dress that cost half. I could have bought a £300, £400, £500 wedding dress. I did do that. I flew over to the US, yes, to buy a wedding dress from a designer brand. As in, the designer brand has outlets in the UK, but they had nicer dresses in the US. So I decided to go to the US to buy my designer wedding dress. I didn't order it from here. I flew all the way to the US. Yes, ticket money, all of it, to buy a designer wedding dress. Foolish. I wore that dress only once. For how many hours? I didn't even wear it up to 12 hours because maybe I put it on at 7 a.m. and I was out of it by 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So that was not even 12 hours. That's the most expensive, foolish purchase I've ever made. Happiest day of my life, I agree. I looked wonderful. I looked gorgeous. I looked great. I loved my wedding dress in that sense. But when I think back to it, from a financial perspective, I could have probably gotten a pretty dress that didn't cost that much. But that is one foolish purchase I should not have made, which I did make, and which, when I think back on it now, I regret it. I should not have bought such an expensive wedding dress. For my friends who are still planning their wedding or planning to get married, don't be like me. Don't spend all that money on a dress you're going to wear for 12 hours at the most. Don't fly all over the place looking for a dress. Don't travel all over the place looking for an expensive dress to wow everybody. Don't invest in a wedding dress. Don't be like me. Don't invest in a wedding dress. The third purchase I've made, which I regret, and which a lot of us still make, and which I'm still trying to control myself to not make anymore, are fast fashion hauls. Going into stores and just making these fashion hauls, constantly buying fast fashion, buying things that are not classic wears, things that are going to end up in the charity shops or even in the bin after 1 year. Clothes from some really cheap stores because they are cheap. So you go in there and you buy these really cheap wears, cheap tops, cheap jeans, cheap skirts, cheap outfits, cheap things, and I just buy them. They don't last. I was being cheap, and if I think back to it, I've spent quite a bit of money on fast fashion hauls, and I regret that. I should have just gone into stores and bought really classic, really nice things that will last me for years. And a lot of these things, they didn't last me for years. I remember buying a particular dress from Primark, and 2 months after, the dress was torn. Like it had a tear right down the side. And even though I tried to stitch it together on my sewing machine, I knew I had made a stupid purchase. And it's not just Primark. I've made stupid purchases from a lot of different fast fashion brands, which I regret, which I look back on now and which I hadn't made. And now I'm more deliberate about what I wear. I'm more deliberate about what colors I buy. I'm more deliberate about the style of things I buy. Like, I don't buy things that I know won't fit me or I won't wear. Those things that you go into the store and they look sexy on the mannequin, and then you buy them, you get them, and you're never going to wear them. And they're just there in your wardrobe. You're looking at them like, imagining that outfit on yourself but not actually wearing it. That was me. And so that's one regret I have, making those fast fashion hauls, shopping the sales, running in there and buying those jeans, those tops, those shoes. Very unnecessary. I could have put that money to paper investment and I will have more investment there now. But we live to learn. We learn from that. I've learned from it. That's one thing I wish I did do that I did. So stay away from fast fashion hauls. I'm not saying don't shop the high street. I shop the high street, but make sure you are buying things that you will wear. Make sure you are buying things that are quality. Make sure you are buying things that will last you. Make sure you are buying things that fit in colors that you like. Be wary of the sales. The fact that it's 70% off doesn't mean you have to buy it. A lot of stores are doing sales. Doesn't mean you need to run in there and spend all your money buying things that when you get home, you're going to be wondering, so where will I wear this one to now? This one is gaping at the neck. No, don't be like me. Stay away from fast fashion hauls. Shop the high street with a deliberate strategy. Know your colors, know your fit, know your style, know what you need before you go into the stores and then shop. The other thing that I've spent money on, which looking back, I wish I hadn't. I haven't spent, thousands on it. But like every girl out there, I've spent quite a bit. And it's costume jewelry. Costume jewelry. Before you know it, you're in the shops, you're in Monsoon, you're in H&M, and you're buying all these cheap earrings, cheap necklaces, bracelets, all of these things, costume jewelry, spending money on them. One thing I'm glad I didn't do was buy designer costume jewelry. But I've spent quite a bit of costume jewelry myself because I do like to wear jewelry. I like to wear earrings. I like to wear necklaces and all of that. And even though I still own costume jewelry, I still buy costume jewelry, I'm careful about how much I spend on them. I'm careful about investing in costume jewelry because they don't last. I prefer to buy actual gold jewelry. So I buy gold jewelry instead of gold plated because then it lasts and lasts and lasts for a long time. I should have learned from my mom. My mom only wears gold jewelry, and if she gives me jewelry, I know it's gold. But I felt she was old school. It's gold, it's expensive. I'm just going to buy costume jewelry in the meantime. And I was doing a lot of in the meantime when I could just enter a shop, save up, and buy myself a nice necklace I can wear all the time. So that's one thing I wish I didn't do a lot of, and it's costume jewelry. So if you've been like me and you've been buying costume jewelry, you need to check yourself. You need to make sure that you are keeping an eye on how much you are spending on costume jewelry. The last purchase I made, which I think back on and I hate, or I think I shouldn't have done, is a holiday I couldn't afford. So I took a holiday many years ago. This is many years ago, it's over 10 years ago. But I still regret it because I just felt I did this on credit. I used my credit card to buy a ticket to travel on a trip that wasn't an emergency. That is the point I'm trying to make. That is why I regret it, because it was a trip I made on my credit card, which I then had to pay off in bits, which I then got charged for because it was not a zero interest credit card. It was a credit card that had a fee on it. So I bought that ticket, but by the time I paid it off, it was twice the amount. I bought a ticket to go to the US on a holiday, and I'd done it on credit. I was single, I was carefree, I was foolish, and I bought that ticket and I went on a holiday that I couldn't afford at the time. And then I came back and I was paying it off in bits. I was paying it off carelessly. I was paying the minimum. At the end of the day, I paid so much more than I should have paid for that ticket, simply because I bought it on credit. So if you're somebody who's thinking about going on a holiday once, June comes along and Boris releases us and we're all out there free to travel, think about whether you can afford your holiday. Think about doing a holiday that you can actually afford. If what you can afford is a staycation, then have a staycation. If what you can afford is a holiday in a caravan, or a holiday close by, small Europe town somewhere that you have to drive to, or you can take a cheap flight to on EasyJet or one of those airlines, then do it. Don't be like me and take an expensive holiday you can't afford on credit and then come back and start paying it. Don't do that, because really, it's never worth it, especially if your credit card has a fee and it starts piling on. It impacts your financial journey, it impacts your journey to wealth. It's a purchase I completely regret and which I would never do again. If you see me going on holiday, best believe I'm paying for it from money I have saved for that holiday. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have you made any of these mistakes? Have you made any of these purchases that you regret? Or have you made purchases that you're super proud of? Tell me about it in the comment section. Let me know what purchases you have made that you are super, super proud of. And let me know what purchases you have made that you regret, so that in this community, we can all be aware of purchases we are likely to regret. That's a video I should make, isn't it? Purchases you are likely to regret. Would you like that video? I'll think about it and come forth with something for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's added value to you. I hope it's been a great use of your time. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please press the red button on your right. Share this video with your friends. Let them know about the Bulletproof community. We are doing great things here. Don't forget to smash the like button. If you still haven't, please press it. Smash, smash, smash. Let YouTube share this video with a lot of people who can benefit from all the things I have bought that I regret. It's really lovely hanging out with you. I love doing this, and I'm really glad to be here with you, talking to you about money, about building wealth, creating wealth, and becoming financially free. I share videos on Mondays and Thursdays, so please watch out for it. The best thing to do is to subscribe so you can get notifications when my videos land. Until my next video, you take care of yourself and keep living that bulletproof life. Bye-bye.